Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are having a great morning so far. I haven't taken any trades yet. I don't believe I missed any, except maybe one in particular that I'm still trying to figure out if I want to trade. That particular trade did win, but yeah, I'm just trying to figure that out. I forgot to look at that in my back test, so we're here. Just got out of the sit out for news, so let's see what's up. I do know I'm gonna have to look at my cheat sheet quite a bit, because there were like some pretty decent size changes that I needed to make, which is cool. I'm not mad about it. But I did pretty much finish the back test. It's just one little thing I did forget to do. Excuse me. So probably at some point today or tomorrow I'll look at it. It's not a big deal really. At all. Doesn't set up a whole lot, but it sets up enough, so that's another example of it, but that would have just broken even. Because it hit the middle VWAP level, so I would have had to break even there anyway. It's not gonna give me what I want. So got out of this buy for a reason. There's a resistance level there. I would have just hit the break even button, but it didn't come back to the break even though. I don't think. Nope. So we'll see. Alright, so I'll have to make note of that because I'll have to make note of that because I don't see it happen like that very often. I did feel confident in it because there was a lot of volume in this reversal bar, and nothing would have really made me get out of the trade either. So yeah. Just was trading with a little bit of caution, because even though I had to filter through like 400 plus trades for my back test, it is spread across different setups, so do have to take that into consideration. So there's still just going to be some trades where I just am not all the way sure, and that's okay. For now, it'll probably take me like a month of trading this exact way with very little adjustments. But I think I'm at the point where adjustment should be to a minimum, so we'll see. Very interesting. Let's see. 2051. I wonder, okay. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss that buy, but I didn't. Okay. We pushed off of my major level back here. curious to see if this is going to push up and create an uptrend bias or not. Change to an uptrend bias around 2050. Did I end up just inside? That's not. Just not getting any moves that I'm looking for. Who knows? Hindsight is 2020. Sometimes I don't think that I saw anything based on what I'm looking for, and then as I'm doing as I'm writing in my trade journal, and I go through like from the market open, then that's sometimes I'll be like, crap, how did I miss that? All right, not interested in the next sale because we have a double top, double bottom combo. What I'm really hoping is either we push past 20, or that's not 2050, if we push past 1950, or we push below this middle VWAP level. One of the two. I feel like at that point it'll start to kind of establish a trend that I'm looking for, but we'll see. We will see. Mute the site. Hello, Cabo. I hope I pronounced your name right. Cabo. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome. Pretty slow morning. I haven't taken any trades so far. Just not really the volatility. Typically when volatility is low, I don't really get a lot of trades. So, which is fine. The biggest thing is I'm not trying to force anything, so that's important. A lot of the moves are like 50 tick moves, which is not horrible. Well, it really is more than that because the reversal bar has to take 40 ticks. So from low to high of each swing is almost about 100 ticks or so. So when that's happening, my trends are like changing each time. A lot of times, especially like here and even back there a little bit. So looks like we might push past 1950 to where I can actually start trading again. Right now it's looking like for as long as it kind of stays in this area, I'm not going to be able to trade. And we're creating another double top, so we don't push through this. First level it has to push through is 1450, then of course the VWAP, and then 1950. So we'll see, because if we can break through the resistance level at 2050, the next one's not till 4550, so we got 25 points to move. We do have the what is it, the current opener? We got the prior open at 23.25, but that's not necessarily irrelevant. But my minor level has been in front of the major level since like 9:06 this morning. So, but the major level is still showing as a downtrend. So that's kind of why we got this weird movement here. All right, so it just changed to an uptrend finally. So now let's see what kind of movement we get. First time seeing this trading style. Yeah, there's not a lot of information online. Every time someone comes in, they're like, what kind of chart is this? I'm like, it's Rinkos. So there's different types of Rinkos. There's O-Rinko bars. There's like NinjaTrader has native Rinkos, if I'm not mistaken. Do they? Yes, they do. It looks different than this. I don't think that the native Rinkos has wicks on them, which I think is important. I use Ninja Rinko, so Ninza Rinko is from ninja.co. They're free. But yeah, there's not a lot of Rinko content out there. I'm pretty sure I'm the only live streamer who streams with Rinkos. I'm quite certain. I was first introduced to Rinkos 10 years ago, and I've tried every bar type you could think of. I've tried tick, volume, range, of course, time-based, Heikin-Ashi. I don't think I've ever tried point and figure. I've looked at volumetric bars, but too much information for me. Like, I'm already super analytical, so seeing too much at one time just puts me in information overload, and that's what volumetric bars does for me. But for me, I've always preferred Rinkos because Rinkos is literal pure price action. That bar is not going to close unless price actually touches there. The only thing to remember with Rinkos is that it's kind of like Heikin-Ashi, where the open and close is fake, meaning like this bar that we're in currently, it didn't really open down here. It did really close wherever it closes, but it didn't really open there. So once a reversal bar happens, the closes are real, the opens are not. So that's the only thing that you have to remember with Rinkos. But the way that I trade, it doesn't matter. I basically only enter whenever my setups happen. I enter at the close of a reversal bar, so the fake opens don't really bother me. The only thing is that, like, when you're back testing, You always want to make sure you have a time-based chart next to it because you can't see the price action inside of it. Now, if it happens like a wick right here, how that wick came out the bottom, well, if I'm back testing that, I can see that, like, depending on where my stop loss is, my stop loss could have gotten hit by that. Now, if you're an all or nothing person, like you don't do a move stop to break even or trailing stop, well, if you're looking for 25 ticks, well, then you know that this went 25 ticks because the number's 28, so it went 27 ticks into the swing. But to combat that, for me, I have another version of the Rinkos that looks like this. Oh, please. Where is it? This. So I have this other version of the Rinkos, which is called King Rinkos, and that just allows me to see inside, like see the price action inside the bar. But I don't like trading with them because they're ugly. They're ugly. So, and plus I really just bought that version just so it would make my back testing easier and faster. But I never bought it to actually trade with, so yeah. We're coming up on the first hour in the session and I haven't had any setups so far, besides, like I said, the one that I think will end up being added at some point. It's really just still part of my regular setup. It's just we were going back towards the VWAP, so but I think when it sets up this one particular way, I can trade it that way, but we'll see. But yeah, just something different, bringing something different to the market. Nothing wrong with trading the same bar types as everyone else. I just never did. I mean, I've tried them, but you know, just wasn't a fan. That's all. Just wasn't a fan. Alright, and I feel like I remember. Yeah. So we're attempting to clear this high over here. The only reason I couldn't take this buy though is because we didn't pull down far enough for me to take it, and that was the only thing that actually kept me out of that trade. Everything else was fine. We were even pushing off of the prior open, which for me acts as a support level. But of course, I can use it as a resistance level as well. And that actually would have won. I want to look at... Oh, it doesn't count. All right. 555. Oh, I was looking for a buy, but we have seller pressure coming, or seller pressure in now, so a buy wouldn't make sense. Where did, oh, that was way down here. This is rocket science type. Not really. It's not too bad. Honestly, it's, if you look at, so if you normally trade on a time-based chart, right? And you put a Renko next to it. Now, of course, depending on your Renko settings is what determines everything though, right? So, like I'm using a brick size of 20. So every reversal bar from the highest or lowest point to the close is 40 ticks or 10 points. And then every new bar in the swing paints after a new a new tick has moved in that direction. Okay, so I think that's a perfect setting for the Nasdaq, but you can use any multiplication between like 1 and I would say 40 is like the max, because I know there are some people who trade with a 40 tick bar and a threshold of 1. So every new bar is 1 tick. That's a bit much for me personally, because I'm not looking for that much, because the bigger your brick size, the higher your stop loss and everything is going to have to be. So I don't want to trade like that. But everyone's different. Excuse me. If you like to trade the ES, which I don't know why people do, a 8-in-1 or a 10-in-1 is great. The Russell, Dow, gold, and crude oil 10-in-1 is great. And that's pretty much all I can think of at the moment. Those are like the popular instruments. Good morning, Rio. How are you? I did have a good weekend. I gamed most of the weekend. My one of my best friends, who we've actually been gaming together for almost 15 years, he was off this weekend. So whenever he's off, I know I'm not gonna be able to do too much, you know? So yeah, we gamed most of the weekend, but I did get off. I actually finished my back testing, I think like gathering the data on Friday, and then I spent Saturday like analyzing it, and then once I got off the game at like 10:30 last night, I finished analyzing it. So yeah, but I was up till like 3:30 this morning, so I'm not gonna lie to you, as soon as the stream is over, I'm going to sleep. I am going straight to sleep. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I have the kids tomorrow. This is probably one of my last weeks of having them though, because they should be starting daycare again soon. As much as I'm ready for them to be back in a structured environment, I'm going to miss them. But since I know they'll be here tomorrow, I'm gonna make sure I catch back up on my sleep today with a nap, a really good nap. So this was divergence, a really huge pullback of divergence to my why did that stop scrolling? To my major level. And I probably should have taken it. Actually, I'm pretty sure I should have. I expect that I'm going to miss a lot of trades in these first couple of days, because I did change some stuff up, which is cool. It's no big deal. I do feel like though that would have broken even because we hit the resistance level. I don't know yet if I need to break even, like move my stop to break even with the regular support and resistance levels. The major one, absolutely. But I don't know about this one, like the regular ones. So I would have ended up just getting a break even. So it's not that big of a deal that I set out of it. Yeah. So that's that. I'm almost certain I don't have to break even though, but we don't trade going back towards those levels that much. Not the regular ones. The major ones, yeah, but the regular ones, not so much. What game? I play a lot of games. Well, not a lot that much anymore, but we played Apex Legends this weekend, which we basically just got back on Apex like last Tuesday. I think is when the new the Tuesday before, so almost 2 weeks ago I think it was. We hadn't been playing Apex since like fall. I think August, like the middle of August was like the last time we really played. So then I didn't really game much for like 3 months, and then I started playing 2K again. I hadn't played 2K in like 3 years. So that's been kind of fun getting back to that. But yeah, so that's what we were playing this weekend. It's quite a few games that I'll still like play every now and then, like World War Z. I just started playing World War Z a couple of months ago, actually. Matter of fact, I think during the 3 months we were like off from Apex, that's kind of what we started playing. Well, he had already played it. I had never played it before. But yeah, I do like World War Z. That's a pretty cool game when I just want something chill, because our Apex lobbies, we're in pretty competitive lobbies even when we're playing pubs, and it can be kind of stressful, okay? So when I just want to relax, we play World War Z or 2K. I do like Road Company as well, but we don't really play that as much. Call of Duty, I do play Resurgence here and there. I actually do like Resurgence. I don't like Warzone. I haven't played multiplayer on Call of Duty since like Call of Duty. I hated Ghost. Ghost is when I started hating Call of Duty, and that was a long time ago. But I did still buy them up until like 5 years ago. I would play multiplayer here and there, but I mainly just bought it for zombies, and then it was just like, all right, I'm done. Call of Duty doesn't get my money anymore. So I used to be in a clan and everything. Not anymore. But I left the clan like a couple of years ago, but I still play with them most of the time though. A few of them. Alright, so we're in between these two resistance levels. Let me see. This buy right here was cool. The only thing I didn't like was we were rotating over the resistance level here, which I'm not much of a fan of. But that's something else that I still have to look at, because I think that I can still take buys when it rotates off the resistance level, again, as long as it's not the major one or the major support level. Because everything for the most part set up the way I wanted it to, just that didn't. However, again, it would have just been a break even anyway, because I would have had to break even at the level that it would have changed my minor trend from a downtrend to an uptrend, since that's technically counter trend. Since my minor was a sell at the time I would have gotten into it, so we're talking about missing out on 2 break evens at this point, which is cool. I don't want to take this next buy. What I'm really looking for is the next sell. You love 2K? The only reason I stopped playing 2K 3 years ago, like I've been playing 2K since like the first 2K that came out on Dreamcast with AI on the cover. The only reason I stopped playing it is because I played basketball in real life, okay? And there's just certain things about 2K where you're like, these people who developed this game, there's no way they ever play basketball in real life. Like, no way. I remember this was probably like 2K, maybe 16 or 19, one of the two. I was playing big. Actually, I think it had to have been 16 because I think in 2K19, which was, I think 19 is when I started playing small forward. But either way, one of them, I was playing big, and I used to get so irritated because whenever you would go up for a rebound, but you didn't actually get the ball, you would be like stuck in this animation with your hands like this, stuck like this for like 5 seconds while everyone else is running to the other side of the court. Like, just little stuff like that, allowing people to do all this cheesy stuff. Like, if this is supposed to be representing the NBA, not street ball, not the Harlem Globetrotters, like nothing like that, then why are you allowing people to spam these dribble moves back to back to back for like 12 seconds? They're barely losing stamina, which I mean, they'll lose stamina and adrenaline a little bit, but not enough. Like, they should be losing the ball, because a person in real life in the NBA is not going to do that. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain stuff like that that's so irritating about 2K, and it makes me not want to play it. Just annoying. It's not too bad this year. Like, I have two players. I have a small forward hybrid defender that's like a 98, and then my second player that I started like maybe a month and a half ago, if that, not even that, probably a month ago. That's a 3-and-D shooting guard with a 96.3, 6'5". That's who I've been playing with the majority of the time, which I think I'm like a 94 with him now too. So I'll be out here in these gaming streets, okay? That's not what I'm looking for. I really cannot believe I've gone this whole time with no trades. But it is Monday. It's kind of to be expected, especially when there's no like huge news. I mean, we had medium impact news at 9, but that was nothing. That was nothing. Alright, I feel like we pushed too high up. I wanted it to stay, like, I wanted the entry to stay below 1375, but we pushed up too high, so I can't take the next sale for now. I don't think. But yeah, it's probably gonna, I give myself a good month to work out the last bit of kinks that need to be worked out. I'm pretty confident with how I have things right now. It just might be certain trades that I missed out on because it doesn't set up enough for me to have had enough information for it in my back testing, which kind of sucks because I filtered through 400 plus trades, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have like 6 setups if I don't include the 1 bar pullback. So yeah, after you filter through 400 trades, you just, that's enough. That's more than enough. So we'll see. This trading is new to you. Good morning, AK. That's kind of why I went ahead and I changed my thumbnail a little bit to put like the wrinkle bars in there, just to get a little bit of traction with showing people this is not like a normal stream that you would see. But also just opening up people's eyes that there are other bar types besides minutes, hours, tick, volume, volumetric. I basically use a combination of wrinkle bars with volume because both of those are pure price action. So yeah. More. I feel like I wouldn't have liked that anyway. Okay. I'm actually still kind of surprised I haven't taken any trades. But the two that I can think of that I should have possibly taken, they were both break even. So maybe one of them could have been a full win. Actually, there's three because there's the one that I feel like I'm going to end up adding. I feel like when when I'm trading in the same direction as the overall trend bias, I don't like taking trades going back towards the VWAP. So like if the previous reversal bar pushes off of the VWAP, I don't like going back towards it. But I have a feeling that if I'm trading like going opposite of my overall trend and the previous swing reversal bar hits the VWAP and we're pushing back towards it, I think that is when I can actually trade that. So like that happened earlier this morning. It was a full win trade. I'm pretty sure it's happened. It happened a few times last week. I'm pretty sure because I remember. I don't have a whole lot of data for it in my back testing, which is why I didn't just give myself the go ahead for it. But that is definitely something that I'll probably end up adding because it happens a couple of times a week and I don't think I've ever seen it lose so far. So we'll see. Mondays are creepy. I usually like Mondays. Like I have friends who don't trade on Mondays and I also have friends that don't trade on Fridays at all unless they're just trying to get like, flip a trading day or something just for payout, but they don't trade on Fridays. And for me, I actually love Friday, especially Fridays that have high impact news. Lovely. Lovely. But yeah, Mondays are typically not bad for me at all. I also do want to go back and because I'm so tired, it might not be today, but I want to go back and look at last Tuesday and also the day after Martin Luther King Day because both of those days were equally the worst days of the month for me. And I still have a hunch that it's because, all the volume from the previous day is kind of like coming in the next day, plus all the regular volume that would be there. And so the volume patterns that I typically trade, they're setting up, but I don't like the way that they're setting up. So it doesn't have like as great of a win-loss ratio. Now, with me making some of the changes that I made this weekend, I want to go back and see if I still feel the same way. That's what I want to see. All right, so my minor trend just changed back to an uptrend right at that yellow line right there. Anytime you see me put a yellow line, it's likely that I'm just trying to mark out where my minor trend changes, back and forth, because I use a version of a half trend to kind of tell me trend direction for a minor and major. So pretty strict with my rules because the biggest thing for me is I want to keep myself out of as many losses as possible without also keeping myself out of too many wins, which I feel like during this process of developing a strategy, that's always been my problem, is that like I start to get so restrictive that I'm keeping myself out of way too many wins. Even though I'm also keeping myself out of losses, I'm keeping myself out of more wins, which those wins could have just covered some of the losses. Or my strategy was at the point where like I was getting break evens way too much. So then when you get a loss and then, you know, you're staying out of too many wins, and then the trades that you are getting into, you're breaking even, you can't be profitable that way, right? So that's been like the biggest struggle and hurdle for me, which I mean, is to be expected. I'm trying to trade with a tight stop loss on the Nasdaq. I knew it was going to take quite a bit of time to figure that out. That's no easy feat at all. So we'll see. We'll see how the week turns out and go from there. So there's not, we'll see how long we stall here before we push up, if we do push up. There's quite a bit of volume that has to be in the reversal bar before I feel comfortable taking the trade, because we are going back towards a double top. So like I was telling Rio last week, one of the patterns that I do look for if I'm trading going back towards a double top, whether it's divergence or like a regular pullback, the volume in the reversal bar has to be more than the volume in the previous reversal bar. So there's like 2016 volume in this one reversal candle right here, because remember, from top to close it has to go 10 points. So it took 2000 volume to go 10 points. So I need this volume to be higher, which we'll see what happens, but we might just push down from it instead. So yeah, it's looking like it's gonna produce way too much, or not enough volume. It's gonna go too quick. Yeah. So there was only like 964 in that bar. It is supported by the VWAP, but it's not enough for me to feel comfortable personally. Seller pressure came in right away. It might actually win, but that's one rule that I do stick to no matter what, because it does not win a lot at all, and I will definitely lose way more than I win if the volume's not right going back towards the double tops and double bottoms. I would still be in the trade with no stop loss moving to break even just yet, because it only went 20 ticks. Your computer's dying. Oh, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time. Hopefully next time you tune in, I'll actually be taking trades. So my apologies that I cannot today. Well, so far, maybe we'll get a trade after 10. But I only got an hour left, and I don't push it past that. Yeah, I would still be in this trade. Now we have a reversal bar. Now so that would have been a full loss, but I trail the stop with the close of a reversal bar. So yeah. Let's see. Is it only? I don't want to screw myself. Is it just me? Kinda iffy. Okay, so that trade invalidated itself, which I'm happy with because I was iffy about it, and seller pressure came in. So this line up here again is where my minor trend changed from a sell to a buy, and as you can see, every time we've come here so far, we've rejected. Let me see if that's still there. No. Is that for my outside bar? Yes. So it's pretty much irrelevant. We didn't push down fast enough. Yeah. It's gonna invalidate itself shortly, and it just did. I thought we were gonna reject fast enough for me to be able to get into the sell, and it would have been supported by a VWAP rotation and everything. I did have like a buy rotation level sitting here. But it was from an outside bar, so I wasn't really worried about that. So now we wait again. Now we wait. But it's definitely having trouble pushing through and confirming the new trend direction. So I appreciate you guys for being here. It just sucks that I don't have any setups today. But it is what it is. You're used to watching people who don't scalp. You're used to sitting there for a couple hours and not seeing any entries. I'm just not used to this at all. I feel like we can take it. I'm gonna take it. We'll see what happens. If it loses, I'm okay with it. It's kind of the pattern I was looking for. I'm gonna break even because we just hit the prior open. And since that's a support level, I'd rather be safe than sorry, but maybe we could push through it. We gotta win. And Cabo just missed it. You just missed it. So the trade initially invalidated itself, but then the second pattern that I look for with that particular lower low, higher low, lower high pattern. The second pattern I'm looking for popped up, so we went for it. We went for it. I'm glad it finally set up the way I wanted it to, because it was clear rejection. But I don't take trades just because it's rejecting off of a level. Like, that doesn't really mean anything, because it could just create one reversal bar rejection and then go back the opposite way. So I just had to wait for that pattern to pop up the way I wanted it to. And there we have it. Let's see. Hello, mouse, where are you? I have something on the... Guys, I don't know. Oh, there we go. All right, so we were in that trade for about 22 seconds. 22, 23, not bad. Not bad at all. I'm happy that we did not reject off of the prior open though. That's the one thing I thought it was gonna pull back and break even and then go exactly where I wanted it to go. But there's just certain levels that I'm really careful with, so I could have lived with a break even for that one. That would have been fine. All right, so we don't trade in between those, so and I don't think, yeah. So next buy, I definitely cannot take. First of all, I'm waiting for it to at least pull back to 1375 before I take buys, because right now, oh, there we go. We got the pullback that I'm looking for. However, I don't want to go back towards the VWAP here, so, and the pattern I'm looking for is not there anyway. So the next trade I'll be looking for will be a sell. Maybe. Pretty sure. Yes. That's not going to make any sense. So, because I need that to be... Oh, I guess I can. Oh, I can. All right. All right, all right. Got the pullback to my major level, but I would actually still be in this trade and it's not valid for me anymore. I used to trade this and it would have lost. This is why I need to do that back test that I have been being lazy with. This is exactly why I needed to do it. Because that is a trade that I did use to take. Hello. Now, Alrado. Me habla inglés. I know very little Spanish. Very, very, very little. But give me a second. I'll use Google Translator. I feel like you're asking me what trade copier I use, but what replicator do you use? Listen, I use the Apex copier from Apex Institute, or Apex Investing, sorry. It's the one from here. $150 one time. You get 2 machine IDs or 2 licenses for separate computers. I do use the old version of it. I do not use the new version. I don't know what it looks like now, but the interface when they first came out with it gave me anxiety, and I'm not even over exaggerating. The big red boxes for flat and all, it was just too much. So I use the older version of it. That is my preference. But I've never had any issues out of it. Ever. All right, we have a close right on the resistance level here. Turn my music back on. De nada. Oh, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, so with this is a pullback too. Yeah, I don't take. We're trading back at my major level again. We've been bouncing. We bounced here. This is the 3rd bounce, it looks like, if it bounces up from here. I don't trade going back to the VWAP for the major level pullbacks. So if this bounces up from here, I'll be sitting out. Okay. I feel like we're still at my major level. Good. We're at a old support level right here. Okay. All right. Okay. Jeez. I'm not the most I feel like Oh, I did. I'm curious to see what this trade ends up doing. I sat out of it because we got that resistance level we closed on. It might win though. There was a lot of volume in this candle, like 1200. So that should be enough to push it. But also the middle VWAP level was there, so it shouldn't take all of that. Like if that VWAP was really supporting it, it shouldn't take all of that. We wicked off of the major resistance level there. There's a second resistance level or support level. There's a support level that's right above that. But I'm not, yeah. I wasn't confident in that one really. Let's see if the, yeah, see that would have lost. Yeah, for the most part, I try to only take sales going back to the resistance levels and buys going back to the support levels. That's just my personal preference. I might not always have to do that, but that's just what I prefer. So like this would have irritated me if I would have got into that, because I would have gotten stopped out by this freaking outside bar just for it to literally push straight through. This is already 10 points in the, well, actual, from the bottom to the top is 20 points. That would have made me mad. I think if we didn't have that resistance level there, it would have been a fine trade to take. But all right, I have to see. All right, that's a real rotation level. And as you guys can see, I am trading 4 accounts. So the first account, the top account is the 50K that actually renews on Friday. So honestly, depending on, no, I'm not going to do that. I told myself I'm not going to do that, because what I was going to say is depending on how tomorrow goes, I might double my contracts on it to see if I can pass it by Friday. But I don't think I want to do that, only because I feel like if it's not passed by the time I'm supposed to pass it, I just rather fail it, let it go away for a week, and come back and have it fresh. Because if I don't pass it in 3 weeks, I just wasn't supposed to pass it yet. Like, that's just my thought process, and that might sound extremely weird, but that's my thought process. So, and then the bottom account is my second 50K account, and that one renews on Tuesday of next week. So I'll give that one some time to marinate. And then the third account is actually the account that I just started today. So we're starting off in the green, which I like. So yeah. All right, I don't need that second line anymore. What I want to see is my minor level get back in front of my major level, which it's not right now. My major level's here, and then my minor level's like back here. So I could see some consolidation because of this. But the major level is a buy bias. So if we pull back, as long as we can clear the 2050 resistance level, we should be able to just push through with no problem. So we'll see. We'll see. We got 45 minutes left. I'm ready for my nap. And I did decide again that I'm not doing the daily updates. So at the end of every video, I will always make sure that I show you guys my accounts dashboard to show you my trail and drawdown that's left, how close, you know, all my balances, so that you can see how close I am from passing or failing the accounts. We'll just leave it at that. I am going to stick to my original plan of switching to like a weekly review, like a week in my trade journal. It won't like it won't go through like how on the daily updates I show every single trade, you know, the trades that you guys saw on stream as well as the trades that I took before stream. I'm not really going to do that in the weekly review though, but I will show you guys like how many trades I took for the entire week, my win-loss ratio. You know, I'll talk about which strategies had the most success, which ones had the least amount of success, any adjustments that I needed to make, or any lessons that I learned for the week, you know, those kind of things. I just feel like that's going to be better for me long term. I don't want to start something that I know I can't finish. And doing the daily updates, although they don't take a whole lot of time, I know at some point I'm gonna get tired of doing them. So if I could just go live every day, a weekly review, then I'll probably also be able to have time to put together like one content video that's trading related each week, which I think is important. So like one of my first videos I know I'm gonna do is teaching people like risk management as far as how to determine your contract size, because there's so many people who struggle with that. Even in Forex, there's people who struggle with like understanding their lot sizes and when they should increase and decrease and stuff like that. So I definitely want to make a video about that for sure, and that's probably going to be my first one. So that's my goal. So that'll give me like 7 videos a week if you count the 5 lives, and then 2 content videos. The weekly review will always come out on Sundays. Sundays. And the content video will probably come out like on Wednesdays or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I definitely think that's going to be helpful for me in the end. I did have my 5th eval that I have renewed. I think it was yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So that one will come back next Monday. What I will say is, since I changed my Rinko settings it was a month almost to the day. Yesterday made a month. I've been making so much progress on a week-to-week basis, even without doing the full back test that I finally completed. And that makes me really happy because this has been a long journey. Very long. But I've been seeing the progress, and that's what is most important for me. And this is probably like, this is legit one of the best strategies, probably the best strategy that I've created thus far. It just has taken a long time to get to this point. At one point I did have a strategy that was pretty profitable, but it was like intraday swinging, and I'm just not a fan of intraday swings personally. I'm just not. All right, so this trade here, the only reason I didn't take it is because, again, we were going back towards the resistance level there. So I just wasn't, I don't know. I feel like maybe with my regular setups I can do it, just not like the divergence trades like this one that was back here. That was divergence. But I don't know. And actually, honestly, I probably wouldn't have even gotten filled on this trade because the bars were like, the close of the reversal bar and the following bar was only like a 0.013 difference. And my data lag has been between 0.01 and 0.03, it looks like. So it's highly likely I wouldn't have gotten filled anyway, which, yeah. All right, so my minor level is now back in front of my major level. So maybe we'll start seeing some movement if we can clear this VWAP up here. And also actually clear this resistance level and not keep pushing down from it. We've reacted at this level every time we've passed it so far. Even here, we tried to push through it and close right back on it. That's why that circle is there, to remind myself that it closed literally to the tick. Reversal here, so we'll see what happens with this one. I got 40 minutes left. One of the streamers that I watch, I don't think he streamed this morning. Oh, I do want to watch that video later. We reversed here again. It's so crazy because for a long time I could not find support or resistance indicators for NinjaTrader. Most of the the free ones that I found, they never worked with Rinkos. It just wouldn't plot anything. But as soon as you put it on a time-based chart, it would plot. That's one of the things that I like about Ninja, is that most of their indicators are made for Rinkos but can be used on other charts. But I'm not someone who likes to draw my own support and resistance levels. That's just me personally. And that's only because I just feel like it's so subjective. Like, I can look at a chart and feel like resistance is here, but you might feel like, oh, it didn't tap there enough for me to feel like it's an actual resistance level. So that's why I trade with indicators. I know there are certain people who feel like, you know, indicators hinder you, or there is no magic indicator, which I don't feel like there is. But I trade with indicators, okay? Now, most of my indicators literally are just showing me different levels of support and resistance, like the order flow VWAP. The super pivot is what the Ninja one is called. It's the famed super pivot. And then I just have the prior day open high low close and the current day open high low, which all of those act as support and resistance levels as well. So, but their levels are very accurate. Very accurate. Like, before I started using the super pivot, there would just be certain trades where I'm like, it does not make sense, like why this is not moving. And then I promise you, as soon as I put that freaking indicator on, I was like, yo, literally every single spot. I'm like, well, I wish I would have known. But that's where just time comes in. You just start noticing certain things you got to pay attention to. And when you know what you're looking for, then you can kind of know what to look for if you like trading with indicators. I know exactly what I was looking for, and I found it. We're resistant, pretty heavy here. So far, there's like probably like almost 3,000 volume in this little swing right here. Seller pressure came in, so we might actually attempt to fully push down from here. So we'll see. I can't take a buy because it's not enough buyer pressure for it, at least for now. and we'd be rotating over the resistance level too. So the way I see it, we'll see what the next sell looks like. Maybe. If we start trading below 18,005 and we like reject and keep going down, it might start changing into a downtrend. But let me see, how many times did my bias change today? Because normally that's how I can tell whether I'm going to get a lot of trades or not. So it only changed 2 times. Okay, so kind of same thing here where I don't feel comfortable going back towards the resistance level for the buy. So I'm just gonna wait for the sell instead. I gotta make sure I fill out these documents. She gotta hang it. Okay, so we're back to the major resistance level right there. Alright, so no sell because we will be pushing back towards the VWAP, and I don't want to do that, especially not the middle one. So the next sell does not matter to me, and also if it reverses here, I can't take that buy because there's a sell rotation level right here, and we'd be rotating over it. If we like wicked off of it, or even the body closed on it, cool. But if it rotates, I cannot take that. And by rotate, I mean this reversal bar closes on it, this reversal bar closes on it. That is a lot of volume. Try to stay zoomed out a little bit so you guys can see the structure that's forming. I don't want you guys to be as zoomed in as I am on my actual entry chart, but I also don't want to be so far away that you can't see the numbers. So hopefully you can see the numbers. Depending on that, I can't take that either. So Didn't I catch up on these? Oh, I didn't. FAQs are updating and changing. You gotta find another favorite link about instruments. This isn't funny to me. Okay. I want to look at 656. That's less. Yeah, I'm still not sure how I want to trade going back to the resistance level like that, because for the most part, I liked everything about the trade except that. So that might be something that in the near future I will go ahead and look at, because it happened a couple of times today. Now, the one time it did lose, let me see, or did it lose twice? I feel like it lost. No, I think it only lost once. I might have to trade it the way I trade going back towards this other type of level. Let me see if... because the way it's set up the first time when it lost, set up a little bit different on the trade that it won. So I might have it figured out. We'll see. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Alright, I'm gonna look to see the result. I'm pretty sure I have that one figured out. I'll see long term, but almost certain I just have to trade it the same way I trade going back towards, like, if there's a buy rotation and I'm taking a sell, I have to trade it a certain way. Pretty sure I need to just trade it the same way as that. And that would have been a full win, and it took profit fairly quickly too, like 7 seconds maybe. So just bear with me. Give me a little time to make the finals. Just with the stuff that doesn't happen often like that. Excuse me. $6.56. see what happens. This buy is setting up. But I'm gonna sit out of it. If it wins, I'm okay with sitting out of it. Because one of the things that I've been noticing with this particular setup is I guess it does take profit quite a bit. Okay, well, let's scratch that. What song is this and why? Oh. Looks like we're trying to resist here and just push down, honestly. Alright, so that invalidated itself because the close would be right before the VWAP. So we're gonna X that trade anyway. See, that's one of the things that I do like is when I'm really iffy about a trade, the trade invalidates itself and then I don't have to make decisions. So whether it wins or loses, I don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it at all. I'll be right back up, you guys. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. You know what? I think I wrote that down already. Let me go find that trade. Was that less than? Yes. Maybe I could do it only these. Less, more. Okay, I think I can. But only with those two. Let me see if I would have gotten filled on it though. I absolutely would have. Mhm. Okay, so I think there's a couple of trades that I can finalize that I can trade them. Oh, yeah, nope, not that one. Only the other two. Okay, well, that was a push. What's behind there? Oh, so the prior open is there too. Just writing on my cheat sheet. I'm pretty sure I figured out. Wait, does it have to be? I feel like it does. I need this to be less. Less, more. Okay. Actually really glad I finished that back test because some of the adjustments that I had to make, I promise you I would have never figured out continuing to go and, you know, at the pace I was with just trying to make adjustments while I was actively trading and getting results on a day-to-day basis. I wouldn't have figured it out. I am 100% certain. All right, we took one trade. 957. Also take profit. Alright, so we got a resistance level right here at 36.25. It's kind of why I was creating outside bars here. Not really What did that close? 27.75. Not. I guess I could take sales though because we're going back towards the resistance. However, okay, so this one was just lower than that and this 824. The resistance levels are throwing me off. That's like legit the only thing I need to backtest at this point. I don't think I have to. I feel like that's old. That's old. So that was the one to buy. Literally everything is setting up how I wanted to, but that. Oh, that's not good. Why did it stop right there? Alright, and this is why I don't know why it's been doing that lately. I really don't know why they just did that. I'm gonna sit out of it, but because we only got 10 minutes left, so with me only having the one trade and winning it, I just don't want to risk losing the profit. And that's only because I'm still, if this resistance level wasn't here, I would absolutely take it. But since I'm so iffy when it comes to that resistance level being there, I'd rather just sit out. That way, if it loses, I don't end up with a break-even day for a trade that I was already iffy about. If I was confident in this setup, I would take it, whatever. Because you guys know I don't get into or stay out of trades because of emotions or trying to protect my profit and loss. I don't care about that. But with my rules pretty much being solidified after finishing the back test last night, it's just these I don't have a lot of scenarios where it's reacting going back towards a resistance or support level, except the major ones, which I trade different. So I would just rather sit out of it and just make note of it in my notebook. Like, I know for sure one of the trades that I set out of earlier before I got on the stream, I was kind of iffy about, but after it just set up today and then looking through my back test and even looking through last week's data, I'm cool to take it. So I'm okay with that. So it's just certain things I might have to see set up a few more times before I can like feel confident in it. But any trade that I'm confident in, I'm absolutely going to take it. And like even Friday, all the trades for the most part, I sat out of quite a few trades on Friday. 3 of them, out of 3, I think one was a full win. Maybe 2 of them broke even. I can't remember. But the majority of the trades that I sat out of based on, you know, the back test and not completely finishing it, most of them were losses or break evens. So stuff like that, that's what I'm happy about, because just a few weeks ago, most of what I was sitting out of was full wins. So for me to transition things to where I'm sitting out of more break evens or losses is good. And I don't understand why this thing is not attached. And I can't. My zigzag is like not attached to the bars anymore. So I had to open up another chart to show it to me, because I don't want to reload the Ninja script on here, because then everything's going to be thrown off. And when I go back to 8:30 and start writing down trades that I was kind of iffy on that I think I can solidify, I won't have the correct data. You can't do, well, you can, but if I was to put tick replay data on so I could see exactly how the indicators painted, it could throw some things off too, because the market is still like open at the time. So all right, so 14. Man, that's literally the only issue I have. Good morning, Trenches. Yes, I'm Queen. Yes. One little funky trade, but we gonna take it, okay? 'Just a few iffy trades that I sat out of that I think I'll be okay with, but aside from that, we're good. Hmm. 824. Like, this next sale might actually set up the way I want it to, but I just still don't know how I want to trade going back to that resistance level. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm okay to take it. As long as this is probably okay. I'm not going to take it for the reasons I told you guys. Let's see what happens, but it's probably gonna be a win. If this pushes down off the new high without touching that VWAP up there. At work, no trade. You'll be back tomorrow. It's okay. It wasn't a whole lot of movement today. Oh wait, wrong one. Like, we're only at 300,000 volume. It's like nothing. I just have to keep myself from being mad if this sets up and wins. What I'm hoping is that we stall here for another 4 minutes because I'll be off the charts and then I won't care because it's after 11. That's what I really want. But looking through my back test, it looks like I should be okay to take it. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of it. There's like 2,000 volume in this one candle. Like these outside bars right here, 3,000 volume, 3,000 volume, 2,000 volume. Ugh. I want to take this trade, but I'm not going to. That's the other thing. I don't know why this thing messed up like that. That's so bothersome. I hope it loses because then I'll feel good about sitting out of it. All right, I drew out the risk to reward so you guys can see it. Okay, I feel great about sitting out of it. Okay. 53.75. That literally would have stopped me out to the tick, so let's see what happens after. Bro, would this have stopped me out to the tick and then went where I wanted it to go? I want to see where this goes. Now the only thing that I am thinking about doing though, I will say this, and this would have made me not get into this trade regardless of this going back towards the resistance level. Everything was fine. However, you look closely right here in this circle, And this is one of the things that I have been thinking about doing. I'm gonna zoom in really far, show you guys this. So that would have stopped me out to the tick and went straight to my take profit. But anyway, as you can see, this candle closed below the VWAP, right? So when I'm taking divergence trades, you know, it's counter trend. So I don't, for the most part, there's only one setup that I am okay with doing that. But for this one in particular, I wouldn't take trades going back to the VWAP. So had this candle closed on the VWAP, then that sell would have invalidated itself anyway. However, because Rinkos are so precise, and the VWAP is precise as well, but the VWAP isn't like, you can get levels of the VWAP that are not like in increments of 0.25 to equal a tick, right? So like the VWAP right here is at 32.14. So one of the things that I was thinking about, and I even thought about this while I was back testing, is if the close of the bar is within one tick of the VWAP, I'm going to count it as closing on it. Because things like what you just saw, where I would have gotten stopped out to the tick up here, like legit to the tick, that wouldn't have happened. Like I wouldn't have even gotten into the trade if I counted this as closing on the VWAP. So I think after seeing that play out, I'm definitely, it's already been in the back of my mind. And I actually used to do this when I was on my old Renko settings. So I'm definitely going to start doing this. This is just going to count as closing on it, because if I would have ended the day negative because of the commissions, when I only had this one setup that I took today, I would have been pissed, like super pissed. And to be honest with you, that's the biggest reason why I didn't get into that trade, because I just kept looking at that little VWAP like, everything else is cool, but that is not. So that's, yeah, we're just gonna finalize that. Okay, so let me show you guys my account balances before I get out of here and go take my nap that is much needed. Okay, and let's see, I'll make sure that I have the account number on it so you guys can see which accounts are which. Oh, whoa. Okay. Hello, scroll. All right, so this is where we're at. So again, this account here is gonna end up, I'm gonna purposely fail it Thursday because it renews on Friday. And as much as I want to double or triple my contracts and just see what happens by that day, I don't want to do that, because I just rather let it go away for a week and come back, and then I get my 3 weeks to trade it again. So this is the 25K that I started last Monday. So we're getting some of that drawdown back. This is the account that I just started today. So we're starting off in the green and we love to see it. And then this 50K, it renews on Tuesday. So kind of same thing. We'll just let it ride, take the trades as they come. And if by Monday it is not passed, I'll just purposely fail it and we'll go from there. So not a bad day. One trade, it was a win. I'll take it. I'm pretty sure at least one, maybe two trades that I sat out of that were wins. I'm pretty sure I can finalize that in my set of rules and kind of go from that. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Sorry that I didn't have a lot of setups today. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better. I hope you guys are having a great trading day yourselves. If you are red, get it back green before you get off of those charts, but don't go on tilt trying to do it. Yeah, please thumbs up the video before you leave if you haven't already. I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.